Hey there everybody! In today's lesson we start a new subject. We're going to start talking about a new API, the Widgets API. First of all, what are widgets? Well, widgets, according to the Wordpress definition, are PHP objects that generate some HTML code. Take for example a tag cloud widget, which is a native WordPress widget. A widget of this type will enable a user who knows nothing about coding to add a tag cloud not just in one specific place on the site, but in several places in a very easy way, usually just by clicking, dragging, and setting up the widget. Well, surely you know what I'm talking about. For our plugin, we're going to build a very simple widget, but it will help you understand how this API works almost completely. The goal will be to take the information from the testimonials, that's each of the post types that we've already created here, and display it in any widget area that the user has registered in the active theme. We're not going to build the widget areas themselves, which are also called sidebars in WordPress, but we'll take advantage of any existing ones in any theme the user has installed, okay? With this, the user will be able to include a copy of the widget anywhere they want on their site as many times as they want to. The widget will have a general title, then a loop containing as many testimonials as the user wants to show. Each testimonial will contain the name of the person who made the testimonial, the text of the testimonial, and optionally the image of the person, the name of the company, the occupation, and the website of the company. All those options can be controlled by the site's administrator. So let's go. I think the first important thing you have to show you is a little bit of the abstraction behind the widget. This will help us understand a little bit better the code needed to create a widget. So let's go to Appearance, Widgets. Well, this screen here is the widget manager. Here on the left side, I have all the widgets available in my WordPress installation. And on the right side, we have the widget areas, which are also called sidebars. They are called sidebars even though they don't always appear on the left or right side of the site. This name comes from the WordPress tradition, since it was born as a blog management system. So you had in a blog a few bars on the left and right side, hence the name, okay? Alright, so if you were to explain how classes work in object-oriented PHP, the widgets interface will be a perfect example. This is because we could say that a widget will be the perfect representation of a class. That is, everything that is here on the left side doesn't exist yet. They are possibilities. They would be like shapes, modes, just like classes are in object-oriented programming. They don't really exist until they are instantiated, that is, until the programmer actually decides to create an object from them. I can do that with a widget when I drag one of them here into a widget area. Right now I have an instance here. I mean, a real object, a thing that has an existence and life of its own. And from the widget mode, if you will, from each of these classes here, I can have as many instances as I want. I can, for example, take this same class here, drag it here again, or drag another instance of it to another widget area. Did you get the equivalence? Each widget is a PHP class that is instantiated when it's added to a widget area. Keep this example in mind, alright, as it will help you better understand later the code we are going to use, okay? Okay then. Another interesting concept I want you to know is how each instance of a widget is presented on the screen to the user. For this, I will use the widgets area of this theme here. But the example can be applied to any theme, okay? In this theme, I have this widget area with these widgets here. If I open the front end, what you got here is the HTML representation of that widget area on the front end, okay? You'll notice that this area where they are is pretty uniform. If I inspect this area, you see that each of the widgets is inside an HTML element which serves as a wrapper, okay? In this case here, each widget is inside a div which has the widget class and another class whose name varies according to the type of widget in here. And then inside another div with the widget's content class. Each of them also, or almost all of them, have a title, and all the titles here are H2s. This structure here will vary according to how the theme registers each widget area. In the example of this theme here, you can see how this is done by opening the functions.php file. Let me just show you. Here near line 358, we have these 4 arguments. Before title and after title are used for the theme to define which HTML elements are used to wrap the title of each of the widgets within that widget area. Before widget and after widget are used to indicate the HTML elements that wrap the full content of the widget. Note here that the before arguments always open the HTML element, and the after arguments always close the HTML tags. This will vary from theme to theme, right? And the theme can also have several different widget areas, and for each of them have different HTML elements. I will not explain this in depth in this course because this has nothing to do with creating plugins. It is more about theme creation. If you're interested, you can enroll in other courses of mine that explain this in more depth, or take a look at the WordPress docs or some tutorial. In this course, we're not going to create widget areas. We are going to use the areas that the theme already has, okay? But I wanted you to understand this structure because it will help you understand the code we'll start seeing in the next class. Well, I think that this introduction is enough for now. See you next time when we will start creating our widget for real. See you then.